All right, guys, what's going on? It's Jack, and welcome back to another video. And for those of you guys that don't know, XDefiant has recently posted on Twitter and/or X the end of season celebration giveaways, which start on the 9th of September and end on the 24th of September. And they basically include, just for logging into the game, you can get 100 X coins on the 9th, and then the 11th, and the 13th, so on and so forth. And then on the days in between, like the 10th, the 12th, the 14th, you get weapon XP and boosters, right? So basically that is going to be going on back and forth until the 24th of this month and starting on Monday, the 9th. Okay, so and of course, Mark Rubin took to Twitter to kind of give us a few words, and I quote, he says, "Hey all, we're less than 3 weeks away from the end of season 1, and in celebration of that, we will be giving away free boosters and VC to everyone who logs in to play every day from Monday the 9th until Tuesday the 24th. We will also be kicking things off with a double XP and Battle Pass XP weekend starting today. The team and I really want to thank everybody in the community. We have been absolutely humbled by your support. We love you all. Also, we are super excited about the roadmap of upcoming content and features that we've added a bunch more great talented people to the XDefiant team for just that reason. And our main Twitter channel, Play XDefiant, will be highlighting a few of those new features over the next few weeks." Now, obviously, this is a good thing. This is definitely some good news. It is a good way to get people to kind of log into the game. I mean, granted, they don't even have to play the game. They just have to log in to claim the rewards from Monday the 9th until the 24th. And then after that, we get into season 2 content, right? They're probably going to do a little bit of announcement for season 2, and then season 2 will commence after that. Now, I'm excited for that. I think a lot of people are excited for that. I think there's going to be a substantial amount of content and features that are going to be put into the game, as well as the a feeling of a difference in the netcode, because I remember Mark Rubin mentioning something like that. However, as you guys know, around here, despite the fact that we definitely support XDefiant around here, and I am almost a level 200 with, I don't know, 300 something hours or some stuff, something like that played. I got to go to xdefiant.gg to look that up. But as a person who's certainly spent a lot of time on XDefiant, I can wholeheartedly say that this is definitely a good thing. But we also we basically look at both sides of the fence around here, right? We're always at the 50-yard line. We're always at, center court or whatever you want to call it. And we got to see things from both sides, right? As much as we love something, we can't be so biased to the point that we're blind, right? So usually when you have something like this, to where you have like these end of season celebration giveaways, which are essentially specials, anybody who's played a live service game for a long time can easily point out and say, well, this is actually usually not a good sign. That means that players have dropped immensely, which is something that we already know. And at the same time, it's like, this is a way, they're basically, a lot of people will say that this is their way of basically getting, like, quote unquote, paying people to play the game, or saying, hey, you'll get discounts in the store or something like that just by playing the game, right? Or, hey, your next battle pass will be free if you play from such and such. If you think about it from a business perspective, it is clever, and it is in the right time in terms of, getting people's attention to season 2 or whatnot, and getting content creators like myself to make videos about this. But like I said, we're always at the 50-yard line around here. And as you guys know, in traditional business, whenever, for instance, there is a business that has a slow time, that is when you see a lot of specials and discounts coming in. And it doesn't matter what kind of business you are. You could be a restaurant business, you can be a clothing business, or whatever it is. If there's a specific part of the day, for instance, like let's say you're in the restaurant business, if there's a part of the day to where it is the slowest, it is usually during those hours to where they have something like, let's say, a happy hour or some specials going on, right? Because again, they want to spread awareness of this, and they want people coming in at that certain particular time, and they're getting a discount. So this is kind of the exact same thing that's going on right now. And anybody that's been playing live service games for a long time will be quick to point that out, and they'll say, hey, this is usually not a good sign. I mean, there are other franchises out there that are very successful that don't do this to this extent, regardless of, the fact that there's a new season coming out. Now, granted, XDefiant, truth be told, on one hand, as far as double weapon XP and stuff like that is concerned, they've been very generous. They've been doing it like almost every weekend, if not every weekend or something like that. So, and obviously the devs are obviously very generous in that aspect, and they're very transparent whenever they do get on, because, as of recently, they've pretty much doubled down. And of course, it is a good sign that Mark Rubin had mentioned that there have been more devs that have been hired to get more content out faster, right? So this is a good thing, because obviously Ubisoft is the one that's paying for that, and that actually does go to show that Ubisoft actually does have faith in this game, because if Ubisoft did not have faith in this game or whatnot, they would not be be dishing out even more money to hire more devs. So when you look at it from both sides, I mean, if you think about it, both sides are right and both sides definitely have a point. And that's why we cover things here, right? We like to see both sides and we like to put everything out on the table and to draw a conclusion or predict things that might come after that. But if you look at it from a business standpoint, though, it is clever and it is good in terms of timing, for sure. But at the same time, you also want to kind of, look beyond that and be like, hey, you know what, this could be this also. But I guess only time will tell. We know that the player count isn't exactly what it used to be in this game for sure, but we also know that the community is very passionate. When Mark Rubin mentioned in the middle of the tweet to where they've seen the support from a lot of the community and they couldn't be humbled by it or whatnot, and they love us all, that's basically a sign of, hey, maybe Mark Rubin knows about hashtag Save XDefiant. I've tweeted at him once, and I'm pretty sure that you guys are not that I'm not the only one, and I'm sure some of you guys have as well. I've seen other content creators out there make videos talking about hashtag Save XDefiant. It's really good to see that because the more eyes we have on that, the better, right? And we've also seen that there are a lot of passionate players about XDefiant. We've seen more and more players come out of the woodwork saying, hey, yeah, I mean, this game has its issues, but I still support it and I hope it gets better and I'm willing to wait, etc., etc. Now, granted, that's not always the case. Not every player is willing to wait. A lot of players hate on XDefiant and there's a lot of players that love on XDefiant. So, and then you have those people that are in between that have been gone and that are willing to come back if the game improves its netcode and if the game adds in more content such as game modes, weapons, maps, features, stuff like that are essential for a first-person shooter like this. So I want to know where you guys lie in this entire thing. Do you see this end of season celebration giveaway as a good thing, as a bad thing, or are you kind of lukewarm on it? Are you kind of somewhere in the 50-yard line, kind of like where I am, to where it's like, okay, I really like this, I dig it, but at the same time, this, I can see how a lot of people might take this as a bad sign from a business perspective, if you think about it. And as I close here, before I close, I just want to say last night's stream was probably the most fun I ever had streaming. We went from 12 midnight until 5 a.m. in the morning, and time flew by, and it was an absolute blast. We had like 30 or 30 plus for the vast majority of the stream viewers, and we were just shooting the shit, man. We were talking about XDefiant, we were talking about games throughout history, we were talking about movies. Like, there were so many discussions had, whether it was about just this game and everything else, and it was nonstop. It was by far the best and most fun stream I've probably ever had, ever since starting content, which was going on 10 years ago. And I say that humbly, so to speak. So I just wanted to give a shout out to everybody that showed up in the stream, man. It was so much fun. And again, like I mentioned before on stream, I'm going to mention it here as well. I am going to, I've obviously been, over the last week plus or so, give or take, I've been streaming the game a lot more often because I am just trying to enjoy the game with you guys as much as I can. If things were to go south, you know what I mean? And I'm just going to enjoy it for as long as I can while I can. And of course, if that doesn't happen and XDefiant ends up, surviving and thriving, then obviously we're going to enjoy it even longer and we're going to do even more content, etc., etc., etc. So, but either way, we're just going to enjoy it. And I enjoy streaming the game and playing it. And of course, when you guys are in the chat and we get the conversations going, it just amplifies the enjoyment. So I just wanted to say thank you very, very much. And of course, to all of you guys that have been watching videos and have been giving the support, to all the content creators that have been supporting hashtag XDefiant and uniting as a community, shout out to you guys as well. So with that being said, I'm going to end it here, guys. I'd like to know down in the comment section what you think about everything mentioned here today. And as always, I'd like to thank everybody for taking the time to watch and or listen. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.